Hey everybody, I'm Kristen Iris. I'm a ghostwriter, a book doctor, a collaborator, and a developmental editor. And today I was talking to a client about my LinkedIn strategy and giving her some advice. And I created a custom video tutorial for her. And I thought, this is probably something that I should share with you guys. So here we go. First, let me give you a little background information. LinkedIn is great, as you probably already know, but you have to, or to get the most out of it, approach it strategically, like anything. So let's talk strategy here for a minute. And, with what I do, I'm mostly talking to people who have written books or are aspiring authors and to fellow editors and ghostwriters. So, but if you're in other types of businesses, this strategy could very well apply to you also. Now, this is a three-pronged approach, or it has three different levels. And the first level is to put your work out and pitch and be published in publications that exercise editorial discretion. That's a mouthful. What I mean by that is to pitch your articles to places that have a managing editor, that the editor either says, great, or tell me more about what you want to write for us, or can say, nope, this is not up to a quality standard that we want represented in our publication, or it's off topic, something like that. There are a couple reasons that that's a great thing to do. First, if you're doing that, it forces you to up your game as a writer and as a communicator. You have to learn to pitch properly and speak to the needs of your audience and look at their interests. So this is a great exercise just as business people and as writers and editors. The second thing is that it will, especially for those of you who are writing books and have not ever worked with an editor before, it can help you get a feel for what it's like to work with a professional editor. So it helps you develop a little bit of a thick skin and will teach you a lot about, or it can teach you about the process that you're about to embark on a bigger scale. So it's got lots of benefits. But right now, we're not talking about those things. We're talking about just the strategy for building your personal brand, your brand, and getting known for whatever it is that you do, and efficiency. Like for me, it's all about efficiency. So things have to solve three different problems or be used in three different ways if they're going to interest me. Okay, so get your work out there, have it published in publications that exercise editorial discretion. That is also good because then when you send prospective clients or people that you are wanting to demonstrate your professionalism to and your knowledge to, not only can you send them to your website, but you can send them out to these other platforms that demonstrate and can tell them something about your level of professionalism. When I wrote a couple columns for the Idaho Business Review. That was great for me it's great for me to send people to those articles because they say, oh, okay, well, this person has written for this publication, and, they can take it from there. All right, so a couple things to keep in mind when you are pitching these publications, if you're going to follow through with the rest of what I'm going to talk about and show you in just a minute. For this strategy to work, you have to be published in publications where the rights are going to revert back to you after a certain period of time. So in the case of one publication that I wrote for, the rights did not revert back to me. There were other very good reasons for me to write on that platform, so I did it. This is not always a deal breaker, but it's a deal breaker for this strategy. So the rights didn't revert back to me, so I never get to reuse them. I can share links to them, but I never get to republish them like I'm about to show you how. Now, the other downside to that publication was it was a subscription-based magazine. Again, great thing to do. a higher standard of excellence there, so well worth it. However, the content is behind a paywall. So only people who subscribe to that publication can see the full articles that I wrote. This is a problem in some ways when I'm trying to demonstrate that type of writing and my knowledge in that area, because if I send somebody out, most people are not subscribers to that. They can't view the whole article. So watch out for those. And if there are those, like I said, they're great to do, but for a different purpose. So what you're looking for is something that is a public platform and, well, that exercises editorial discretion, is a public platform and that the rights are going to revert back to you after some period of time. Some it's 3 months, some it's 6 months, and pay really close attention to what the rights are. And I'm not going to go into that. That's for another day. But assuming that you've chosen that, that's your first thing. Get content up on those sites. Wait, you promote it and let it go out into the world. That site is going to be putting it out to their audience. So you are getting exposure that you wouldn't get elsewhere. And it's only benefiting you. So it's well worth the wait of a couple of months. And if you start this strategy and you're posting things there on those types of platforms once a month or even once a week, after a couple months, you're going to have this steady stream of recyclable material that you can use in multiple ways. So let's get to that. All right. I am currently a regular contributor to a publication called Unbound Northwest. So let's go and look at that. All right, so here's their website. And here is a post that I did several months ago that was published there. Now the rights reverted back to me. So great, this has been out there in the world. And I've been able, in the meantime, to send people links to it and use it for my own purposes and all of that. So, but now I'm going to get even more mileage out of it. So the second thing that I did, once the rights reverted back to me, I put all of this on my blog. Okay, so here we are on my website, in my blog, and you can see that last month I republished this. And all the stuff is the same. I just copied and pasted it, and I just did a few different picture treatments because my blog lets me do that. Great. So that was out there for a while, and now it's time for me to put it on LinkedIn. Now, one of the reasons that this is a good strategy, not only do you get to leverage different types of exposure, so the people who are paying attention to Unbound Northwest and their tweets and things like that, all of that social media exposure from the beginning, great, captured that. Now when I put it on my blog, that's when it gets sent out specifically. My subscribers get notified. So typically a different audience there. And now I'm going to move it over to LinkedIn to get a completely different audience. So what I'm going to do is, if you're not familiar with this, I want to walk you through it. So go to your LinkedIn page here and you see that you have a choice. Normally, people just write a little thing just like you were on Twitter or Facebook and then put an article, a link to the article. Now, whenever these articles are published originally by Unbound Northwest or, wherever that's going to be published, I also will put a link to it here, but I'm going to follow it up several months later with this. So instead of putting a link here and doing it as a little post, I am going to write an article. So you would click that. And someday, okay, here we go. All right, so this is what's going to pop up. And you can see, you just open this, put your picture in there, and then I just copy and paste. Now, I'm not going to bore you with watching me do that, so let's go over to this one that I've got in the works here. So you can see that I just, same thing, copied and pasted everything, or almost everything, and I just have one more piece because I think it's important to show you guys what I'm talking about. Let's see, where are we here? We need the hiking picture. All right, so you click on that image. I'm going to grab that hiking picture. Now, one thing to keep in mind as you're copying and pasting, from my blog, the hyperlink for this did not transfer over. So you will highlight that, go up here and click this, go out to where it was originally posted, grab this URL and connect it up here. Now, you don't have to do this unless check and see what you agreed to when you submitted your piece and entered into an agreement with your wherever you're publishing. It may require you to do that. I like to do it regardless because it signals to people that, hey, this has appeared somewhere else, and typically people can tell, oh, hey, that's some kind of a legitimate magazine. It's not a blog or something like that. And then they can click it if they want and go to the original post and see it. So again, this is all about building your brand and showing up in a very professional way. So anytime you can do that, just do it. It's very easy. And it also is a way to honor the original publication, because they could potentially get a new fan if somebody goes back there and goes, oh, hey, this is a great site. I'm going to read some more of the articles or maybe even contribute. So I always recommend that you look at this stuff too if it's something that interests you, because you may discover great new places to submit content, and managing editors are always looking for people to provide high quality content. Okay, all right, so I put that picture in, and I need to add the last bit of text that goes after that. And then I will show you one more thing that's different from the blog. And I've already added it in here, but okay. So now we're just going to do a quick look and make sure that everything looks good. So of course, please proofread your stuff. Good news is you've already edited it, submitted it to the publication that exercises editorial discretion. If it's a good one, that editor is going to go back through and catch any typos and different things that you have there. So it's already going to be edited. This would just be a proofread to make sure that nothing is wonky. Okay, so now the difference is on my blog, because that's on my website, I don't have this section. So what I do is I have created a little snippet specifically for my LinkedIn articles, and it has a link back to my website. So anytime we have the opportunity, we want to push people back over to that main platform that we have. So I just go out to a previous article that I published, and I just copy and paste it and grab it. I want to show you that so you can see where I pulled it from, but also to show you something else. So the thing is, part of this strategy is a staggered approach, and that's part of the power of it, is let people forget, or if you missed anybody when you first started talking about it, you're going to pick them up later. So as soon as the rights revert to me, I don't publish it on my blog and publish it on LinkedIn on the same day. I wait, just like you waited a couple months or however long from the first it was published on the publication to the time that you're going to put it on your blog. You just want to wait a little bit of time, or I do. It's up to you, but I like to wait a little while and blast it out on a different day, because I do have people that follow me on LinkedIn, of course, that are on my email subscriber list. I don't want to annoy them. That's really my big thing is don't annoy them. Okay, so I find LinkedIn not quite as intuitive and a little bit harder to find things on. So I wanted to show you this. And because I'm doing the staggered approach, I don't always remember what blog post did I put here? Is it on there already? So if you want to check and see what you've already done, click on your picture here and go down to posts and activities. And then you're going to see this, and just click articles, and my computer is going slow. Oops, okay. All right, so articles. Now, these are what I just showed you. So there's a difference between posts and articles. So I just scroll through here and look, and nope, I haven't listed it. Great, I'm going to do that while I'm here. But I also will go through here and I'll just go through one of my other ones and copy and paste this into this document here, or this this thing here. Now you can edit these and things like that. Normally I would press the big shiny button here, but I want to proof it after I close out this video one more time, because as a professional writer and editor, I have to. It's a compulsion that I have. But you would just, after you've proofed it, press the publish button, and then it goes out to your followers that are on LinkedIn. And what I have found by doing this is by regularly posting articles rather than just putting links to URLs as a post on LinkedIn, is that I'm picking up followers, because the articles are public, and whereas your posts are private only to people who are connected to you. And so I'm picking up, getting attention and having people who otherwise wouldn't have come into contact with me on LinkedIn by doing this. So that's a very powerful thing. I've noticed that as I'm more consistent with this strategy, my profile views have gone up, and I'm getting more high quality connections with the clients that are right for me and the people who make better strategic partners for me. So I've seen a payoff for this, and it is definitely increasing the brand awareness out there. So I really recommend following this strategy, because like I said, it is efficient and it's a way to just build up that level of professionalism. If you guys have other questions about this, please feel free to visit my website and just shoot me an email through my contact page there. And if I missed anything, I would be happy to go back and clear that up. But I hope this strategy works for you. And if there are any other videos like this that you would like to see, feel free to drop me a line and make a request. Thanks, everybody.